if Lucas directed Episode 9, right, and was coming out on one Friday, and then at the same time Spielberg goes back and directs an E.T. sequel and is releasing on the same day, and it's Spielberg's it's Spielberg's brainchild. I always thought I would he says he never will revisit, but something
he cracked the code.
Yeah. And he comes out and he's like, I worked on the story with Mike Stan, I think is his name.
Well, I'll have to stop you right there. I'll have to stop you right there because I don't think it doesn't matter what goes up against Star Wars. I'm going to pick Star Wars every time.
Really?
It
even
doesn't
if George
matter.
Lucas directed one.
It doesn't matter. I would I'd still go because it's Star Wars. It's my first love. I'd go to it and then immediately leave the theater pissed off, and then walk into the other theater and watch Spielberg.
We'll meet each other in the hallway because I think if that was the scenario, I think I would choose E.T.
Really? Like high five each other on the way, and like, dude, you're fucked.
Yeah,
like,
I walk out of E.T. too. I walk out of E.T. too, all fucking happy,
smiling
and crying and shit, like tears of joy. You come out
and
fucking
I'm crying
pissed off and crying
pissed
tears
off.
of anger. And I'm pointing and laughing at you like I fucking told you.
Superman talks to his dad kind of thing. Wouldn't it have made more sense for him to do it in the Kent farm or something, where his dad actually lived, rather than him taking a 6-month vacation to frigging Antarctica. It has nothing to do with Jonathan Kent at all, just to talk to his dad. That makes no sense.
Jonathan Kent could like snow. We don't know what Kevin Costner does in his free time.
That's probably where he was vacationing, and they're like, "No, fuck that. You're filming it here."
Exactly.
Did the tornado throw him to Antarctica? Is that what happened?
Right. What shitty movie would you want special features on, like The Lord of the Rings?
Oh, like
it's like really in depth,
like an in depth one, like the worst,
like
movie
a
ever?
6-hour like a 6-hour documentary of Showgirls, like something like that. Or
that's a good one. Well, Battlefield Earth would be a good one because I'd want to know. I'd really want to see those people talk for 6 hours about how they really wanted that franchise to work.
How passionate it was.
Yes.
Or how about what's that movie with Fred Savage where he had monsters? Was it Little Monsters?
Oh yeah, Little Monsters. I don't remember.
It wasn't a shitty movie, but I would still love to see like an in-depth thing about how they, did up Howie Mandel's makeup every fucking day. Just 6 hours of that.
There's so many bad 80s movies. I mean, speaking of which, like, what's that movie with the Beastmaster?
Oh, yeah. A 6-hour documentary on that.
Yeah, six-hour or Sheena.
Yeah, 40. The Beastmaster one. There's like on the 6-hour documentary. There's 45 minutes of the ferret. Like just the thing about the ferret.
I love those damn ferrets. They're not legal in California. I think they're legal in Oregon.
Yeah, but just think about that documentary, and there's like a 45-minute documentary about the ferret.
Just talking
like
about the ferrets.
Yeah, just the ferret.
That movie, oh my god, that movie kind of holds up too. Have you watched that recently? It's been a few years, but
no, I haven't.
That movie, I love that movie. It's so weird.
What about Red Sonja?
Red Sonja.
About a 6-hour documentary about that.
Yeah, about how bad her accent is in that movie.
Yeah. And then like 3 hours of it is you trying to explain to me that that's not really Conan in the movie.
You imagine putting the dude, I can't understand this. Let's just put the subtitles on and it's just like gibberish. You're like, oh,
yeah, but it's fucking like, but it's Arnold Schwarzenegger in this like medieval weird Conan type thing with Red Sonja, right?
Yeah.
And then he's basically got the long hair. He doesn't have his shirt on, and he's got better garbs, but he's fucking Conan. Like, it's fucking Conan, and you're telling me that's not him.
He is Conan.
They should have just had him Conan.
See, who said it wasn't him? I thought Conan made an appearance in that movie. He wasn't Conan?
No.
What was his? I haven't watched that movie in like 30 years. I couldn't even tell you what that movie was.
I don't know what he was, but he wasn't Conan in that movie. That's why. That's why it's fucking funny.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so on that 6-hour documentary, it kind of tried to explain to me how you put Conan in the movie in a Conan-like movie, but his name is not Conan.
What was his name in that movie?
I have no fucking clue. It wasn't Conan. That's all I know. It was not fucking Conan.
He looked exactly like Conan.
Exactly. They even had he had the long hair, I think, too.
Wasn't he even swinging around the sword and he was shirtless, or was he just wearing some
he had a sword. I'm telling you, dude, it was just Conan without the name.
This is bad. I have to go back and watch that movie again now.
I kind of want to watch it too, because I want to know if there's any clues in there about why he's not fucking Conan.
Well,
Yeah. We basically waited an entire year to watch 90-year-old titties.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
That was the most shocking part of the entire thing. Like, it was already shocking that she was old, but when they pulled back and you saw everything, I was like, that was more than I've ever wanted to fucking see. I was like, this is worse than
necessary.
I was like, this is worse than the Red Wedding. This is fucked up.
Worse in the opposite direction. Well, yeah, because like at the beginning of the episode, it actually says, nudity and gratuitous violence and all that stuff, and I was like, all right. I mean, that's pretty much every episode, but
they waited a really long time. I was like, this is probably the latest nudity that you're ever going to see that you've ever seen in an episode. They waited the whole episode to show nudity, and then they pulled the wool from it over you, and then they showed geriatric tits. Like, it was like, okay, I almost feel like they sat in a room and was like, well, they've seen just about everything possible, but they haven't seen this, so let's fucking show them this.
They introduced, we kind of knew from the first movie that, Magneto's his dad. And so that was kind of a weird, I'm not going to tell him just yet or whatever. It was kind of this weird conflict that they just added to the movie for no reason. That I don't know. Why do you think they did that?
I don't know. That was kind of weird for me too, because they say it 2 or 3 times that he's his dad, and then 2 times he has a chance to tell him, and he's like, no, I'm not going to tell him. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, I'm just going to stick around, and I'll eventually tell him. But basically, it's like everybody knows. It's almost like Three's Company.
Right.
Like, everybody knows that Jack Tripper's not gay except for the Ropers.
So, right, exactly. And then after it really takes away from the fact that his wife and daughter died. Right. I didn't like that at all. It just started taking away from that. But
I think we can positively say that we probably are the only review that you will ever read or hear or see that made a correlation between Three's Company and X-Men.
so Magneto's is Jack Tripper?
No. Magneto's the Ropers.
Mr. Roper.
Right. And he thinks, and everybody knows that Quicksilver is his dad except for Magneto.
It is kind of a bad sitcom.
But here's the thing too, is he says he's going to stick around, and then the next scene Magneto's gone, and it's like, well, when the fuck did you plan on telling him, because he's not coming back?
Where did he go? Yeah, exactly. But because this was written a long time ago, it's you can kind of forgive the notion of kidnapping kids, taking them somewhere, taking them to your house, because I don't think that would really fly right now. But she pretty much is upset at first that he takes her, and then he's like, well, what do you like about the orphanage? What do you like back home? She's like, I hate it, actually. And he's like, okay, then shut up. So she lives there for a while and like talks to him and gets to know him and all that stuff. And he's like what he does is like, he's a dream collector. He goes up way high up in this mountain and he collects these dreams. They look like fireflies with different colors, and he puts them in jars. And then he goes back down to his house and he puts them on shelves and whatnot. And then at certain points of the night, like kind of like creepy Santa Claus, leaving gifts, he leaves dreams. So like he has this trumpet and he hooks the dream up to it and he blows it through the window, and then it goes inside the kid or whoever's mouth, parents, whatever, in their mouth, and then they start dreaming. And he tries to give him good dreams. Now there are bad dreams as well, and that kind of comes into play a little bit later. I don't want to spoil the entire movie. I mean, this is something you could.
Well, I wasn't.
You could watch with your kid.
On my list, so go ahead. So he takes these fireflies and blows them in kids' mouths.
Exactly. He does. He
sounds like an asshole.
But where it gets really kind of weird is that the giants they can sniff.
Wait, he just said when it gets really weird. He just told me a big fucking giant blows fireflies of dreams in kids' mouths, and then it's going to get weird.
That's right. It gets weirder. So, hey, dude, if anybody can help the Chinese, it's going to be Matt Damon. Maybe Tom Cruise. I don't know. Well, he was in The Last Samurai.
Yeah, he was. Well, I would say maybe it would be Jason Bourne, not
the
Matt
whitest
Damon.
guy. The whitest guy.
I'm pretty sure Jason Bourne could help the guys in the Great Wall of China. I don't think Matt Damon could.
Dude, if he says, "Do you like them apples?" or "Do you like apples?" I'm gonna be really pissed.
I'm gonna fucking lose it if he's on the Great Wall of China and he says that thing from fucking Team America. Matt Damon.
If he starts singing Scotty Doesn't Know.
Oh yeah, good stuff. I love Team America. That's a very underrated movie.
Yeah, it is. It's the sex scene in that still.
How about here's a little bit of a tangent. How about I saw it in the theater and I thought it was hysterical and I bought the DVD for it, and I showed my dad the movie, right? And I was like, and I completely forgot about the sex scene, and I bought the unrated version, so it's like 2 minutes longer.
It goes on. Yeah, it goes on and on.
It goes even worse, where like I think one of the puppets shit on their face or whatever. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about this part. And my dad's like cracking up about it. He actually thought it was funny. Because it's like fucking two puppets, like fucking, like in weird positions, shitting on each other.
Gives her a pearl necklace. And all.
Yeah, it's fucking funny.
Oh my god! I guess you could only get away with that with puppets, but it's too funny. But so that's Jason Bourne in a nutshell. I'm sure you'll go see it.
Yeah, let's end it on the shitting puppets.
This company made a superhero movie in Russia, and it's like, I think it's called Guardians, and it's like really trippy. I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but they've been playing it over and over on Facebook. I see it all the time. People keep sharing the video, but it's like these superheroes, like there's like this bear like with a machine gun shooting at something. I mean, like they're really weird, like half beast, half man type superheroes. But if you get a chance, like look up Guardians on YouTube and watch the trailer, and you'll be like, whoa, that's pretty trippy. I don't know if it's in English subtitles or not, but I don't know. It looks super cool.
Did you just say half bear?
Yeah. It's like half bear. It's like a bear head, and he's like a human body, like a buff body, and he's got like a machine gun. And he's like shooting it in the air. Like it's.
Anytime I hear the words half bear, I think of Half Bear Man Pig from South Park.
Oh my god! Holy shit! I didn't even think of that. That's hysterical.
So, possible spoilers for Infinity War, not sure. So, right. But anyway, so what happens in the cartoon is that together with the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos is completely too powerful to defeat, and no matter what the Avengers do, they can't touch this guy. So what they end up doing is actually playing towards Thanos' ego, and saying that he could, instead of using all 5 stones, he uses 1 stone per Avenger, and each Avenger knows that what the weakness of each stone is and which one they can counter better. So like the 1 power stone or whatever, I can't remember. I'm just making this. I'm paraphrasing and making this shit up at this point. But basically, like, so the Hulk says something to Thanos and uses a specific stone against him, and because of Bruce Banner always dealing with the rage and the anger, Thanos can't control it, but the Hulk can. So, and then there was like the reality gem where Captain America was always suspicious of everything, so it never worked on him. Like, so like one by one, they were able to defeat Thanos by defeating each stone individually instead of like an entire team. So again, if they follow the same kind of thing, you know, the Infinity War might end that way. I'm not sure. We could be completely wrong, and if anybody's listening, might reference us back and say, you were so fucking wrong.
You're
but
so stupid.
What's happening now, what's happening now in the Avengers cartoon is they introduce Kang the Conqueror. Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wonder if that might go into also like the big baddie in like the second tier Avengers that happened, or the second version of the Avengers. Like Kang is that new major villain other than Thanos. Like the Civil War 2 thing can happen in between, just like the regular Civil War happened in this part of the Avengers, right? But then at the end, you're going to fight Thanos, and I was wondering if Kang was that thing at the very end.
Oh shit, that's a really good possibility. I didn't think about that. That'd be pretty badass, actually. You guys heard it here.
Somebody from the future.
Exclusive from the future. Yeah. Vic has just come back in time from the DeLorean with the DeLorean and Doc Brown, and he has some Avenger news. That would be really interesting. I know that they've defeated Thanos many different ways. Like one of the ways was really stupid. I think his daughter like ended up distracting him, or he like left his body to go fly around the universe, and she like
that's right,
grabbed the gauntlet and tore it apart. Yeah, it's just stupid.
Like he was like drunk David Hasselhoff and he stole his hamburger.
Stole his hamburger. Shit. That was oh my god, that's still on YouTube, isn't it? Didn't his daughter like record him and put it on? It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's horrible.
That was pretty fucking
Here's
funny, though.
Here's a switch. Daddy's gonna throw up on you. That's Thanos right there. He's gonna get drunk. They should. Yeah. In fact, you know what? Forget Josh Brolin. Just get David Hasselhoff to play Thanos.
Be drunk over there, like leaning on the gauntlet, and then she's just gonna come take it.
Like he basically like fills the gauntlet full of alcohol and drinks out of it.
Yeah, like a stein. And then you're like, well, this is pretty anticlimactic.
Yeah.
He just got drunk and she just stole the glove. I want my money back.
We won.
We won. I just pictured. Do you remember that jump that they did in Anchorman, the first one?
Yes.
Like when they're like, let's go buy suits. I just pictured all the Avengers doing that.
That would be awesome. They should do that instead of the shawarma at the end. They should do that.
Somebody make a GIF of that and send it to us, please.
That would be awesome. That would be so awesome. Okay, so Captain Kirk or Captain Picard?
You know what? Okay, but see, here's the thing. In the original series, it wasn't Kirk that did it for me. It was Spock. So if you say Spock or Picard, I'm going to say Spock.
I would Kirk say that too.
Yeah. If you say Kirk or Picard, then I'm going to say Picard. But, yeah.
All right. Well, then, how about Worf or Chewbacca?
For what? For like a dance partner, or for like dating, or for like a pet? I mean, like what are we talking about? Like
that's a good question.
I guess
we
co-pilot.
didn't preface that. We didn't really preface that.
Co-pilot. Okay, co-pilot. But Worf isn't a co-pilot.
Oh, he's not. You're right. Damn it.
I'm being too literal.
No, that's what nerds do. That's what nerds and geeks do. We analyze stuff.
More fun and cute character, I guess.
I guess it would be like Sulu or Chewbacca.
There we go. Who would I rather have the co-pilot, Sulu or Chewbacca? Sulu, I think, just because George Takei is really cool. But
we're not talking about the real actor. We're talking about the Sulu. And I think I got to go with. I think I might have to go with Chewbacca in that one. And here's my reasoning: is like every Star Trek episode or movie that I've seen Sulu in, he kind of just flies straight. He doesn't really do too much. And I feel like Chewie could. Well, he co-pilots the Millennium Falcon, and I feel like he could probably do a lot more behind the wheel than Sulu could. So if I had to get like a getaway guy to pilot me out of some mess, I think I would go for Chewbacca. I mean, Chewbacca did it also in he just did it in The Force Awakens. So I think I would go, if we're talking straight co-pilot, plus you could rip your arms off too.
That too. He's a better sort of like partner to have around. But I will say this: I know 2 songs about Sulu. Are there any songs about Chewbacca?
He doesn't need songs. He doesn't need songs. He could play the drums with the arms that he rips off of you.
That's true.
Listen. I choose Chewbacca because if Kirk died, Sulu would be like, "All right, well, I'll take over the ship now."
Yeah, he got his own ship eventually.
But if you had Chewbacca and you die, he's gonna revenge your death. He's gonna go after that son of a gun.
That's true. He'll rip his arms off.
He shot Han Solo's son in the gut.
Probably, yeah. He shot the guy that he probably changed diapers for when he was a kid.
Like that's it. You're dead to me.
Yeah, you killed Han.
He got Kylo Ren's poop on his fur.
Oh, by the way, spoilers.
How did Back to the Future 2 happen? I don't know the story.
Purely by accident, really. In between film and TV work, I started playing characters on the Universal Studios lot on the tour.
Did you do a lot of voice acting?
I've done a lot of voice acting. Like Heathers was voice work, a series called The Best Times, Loverboy, just on and on. All these working with a great team of improvisers. Lee French, who came out of the committee, with people like Tracy Newman, Lorraine Newman's sister, and Nicholas Guest, Christopher Guest's brother. A lot of really great improvisers. We go in the studio and do voices of the people who are not on mics. And then they turn it way down because you hear something. There's something coming out of their mouth, and if you don't hear something, it's not going to match up.
Right.
So we'd improvise what was coming out of their mouths, and so anyway, I digress.
That's fantastic.
I would do some work like that, and then to pay the bills, I fell into playing Stan Laurel at Universal Studios. If you went to Universal Studios in Hollywood, say between '87 and 2001,
which I have.
Well, if you had a picture with Laurel and Hardy or Charlie Chaplin or Groucho Marx, it might have been me.
That is so. I probably do. I gotta go back and look.
I'm on.
Laurel and Hardy were my favorite growing up.
I'm under refrigerator magnets around the world. So
Back to the Future 2.
The agent that helped me get that work called me up one day and said, "You know who an actor named Crispin Glover is?" I said, "Of course." Yeah. I worked with Crispin on a film before he got the first Back to the Future film at the American Film Institute, and found that he was a fascinating actor.
Yeah,
just really great to watch.
Really interesting.
Very interesting. Never do what's on the page. Just do the opposite, and he makes it work. And well, what's up? They're looking on a film for a stand-in photo double for him. I said, "Are you?" He asked if I was the same height and weight, and I said, "No, he's taller and probably heavier than I am, but I need the work. My ex-wife was about to have our second kid, and I needed to get our medical coverage."
There you go.
So I got in there, and the assistant directors and I met. We had a good time. So then they sent me to casting, and I read for them. They liked me, and then I started having fittings for prosthetic makeup and body cast for special effects and all. Wow. And I said, "This is all very cool," and I guess Crispin doesn't want to do all his stunts or whatever. I hope I'm not doing too many stunts. I don't have a great back. And then the makeup artist one day said, Crispin's out. You're going to be playing George. And I was like, what? That's not possible. And sure enough, at the last possible hour on a Friday before being ready to work on a Monday, casting called my agent and offered me the role. And at scale, I went, no way. Don't accept that. Anyway, They
need me.
They need me. Yeah, hold out, $10,000 a week at least.
Yeah.
No, it didn't work out that well.
Now when Steven Spielberg executive producing,
it was very awkward because they had already announced in all the Reporter and the Variety that the original cast is coming back to reprise their roles.
Remember that.
And I couldn't fathom how the hell they were going to be able to do the film without Crispin.
Yeah.
And I had even called Crispin. I left him a message. I said, I can need the work. Say a good word for me.
Yeah.
And he didn't call back till he was ready to sue them because they made me up to look like him. And
right.
Anyway, and they were going to pay him like scale from what he made on the first film for the couple days for the footage they spliced in with my work. And that didn't seem too fair, especially since it was the highest-grossing film of 1985,
right.
and then 89 and 90 they did pretty well. I think that's when the 2 and 3 came out.
Yeah.
Anyway, to make a long story short, that's how I got the role.
Did you? So for me, BJ's got all boys. Okay. So he didn't have this. Like he still lost his shit when Rey got the lightsaber. But for me, it was personal. Right. So, like, when that lightsaber went into her hand,
let's define lost his shit, because that could mean a lot of different things.
Well, it was. For me, losing my shit was getting goosebumps and my heart pounding, like it was like. Oh, the only thing it could have been different was that like it was an Asian guy getting the lightsaber.
Yeah, well, I mean, it did feel like a transformative moment because I mean, have you ever seen the supercut where they took the previous 6 movies and did every line of dialogue that a woman spoke that wasn't Leia?
No, I didn't.
You find it on YouTube.
No.
It is like 2.5 minutes long or something like that. I mean,
oh my gosh!
From 6 movies,
right.
You do the original trilogy. I mean, I think Mon Mothma shows up, says 2 things: Emperor's dead in 5 minutes, and that's it. It should.
I think Lando talks more.
Yeah, Lando definitely talks more, and it's when you look at it, I think that's much more than having Rey as the main character, which I love and I think was great, and also having John Boyega as a main character, huge steps forward. But I think even more important than that was when Chewie got hurt, he went and the medic that helped him was a woman, and half the X-Wing pilots seemed about like they were women, and just random people walking in the background. Previously, Star Wars had created a universe where Leia may have been the only fertile woman in the entire galaxy, and now
she was like Smurfette.
Yeah, she was like Smurfette, and now it feels like the world is much more complete and much more real. I mean, when the world reflects the real world a little better, even when you're talking about this high fantasy concept, it makes it feel more believable. Now you look around in the Star Wars world and you go, okay, there are men and women and different races, and the different races aren't just Wookiee and white. There's so it having set that kind of thing up really helps the world feel more real, even when you're talking about a fantasy world.
I think the closest to Asian in the original trilogy was like Nim. What's that guy's Nim Num? It's Lando's co-pilot in Jedi.
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly, BJ. I think that was the closest to like
only action
Asian
figure nerds are going to know that one.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not making fun of them because I have my own nerd shit, but that's not it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone listening, you're going to have to explain this to me because it seems idiotic. He comes in and he goes, "I just got done seeing the new Michael Bay movie." He's like, "Oh my God, it was horrible." Why do they keep giving him movies? Because you just went to see the movie.
Was that 13 hours?
I don't know what it was. I'm not sure. But please, people, stop giving Michael.
I know. That's the thing I don't understand is like I complain about the stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I complain, but I won't pay money to go see it. Like, I refuse to.
Here's a different mentality. Speaking of Star Wars, for instance, we're talking about the past, back to Empire, the new stuff. Back when I was younger, movies were something special. A movie would stay in the theater all summer, and there wasn't much competing against it. There weren't that many out there. But now people are willing to drop $20 to just waste 2 hours and go see a movie. So it doesn't have to be. And that's the mentality I think I don't get.
I don't have that mentality because for me, $20 is a lot of money.
There's so many things you can.
I mean, when you fund your own podcast,
when
you fund your own stuff, and you're like, well, I could use $20 to put gas in my car to go see a convention, or waste $20 on a movie that I know will suck.
Or more importantly, your time.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have 3 hours to just.
I mean, I got kids. I got to get a babysitter. I got to get all these things that I know will cost me money and time, and all this logistical stuff that I got to figure out. And even if I didn't, I still wouldn't give Michael Bay $20.
No, but his movies make a ton of money.
They're somehow starting to dwindle down a little bit, but they're still making a lot of money overseas because our special effects in America are light years ahead in other areas.
They're eating it up.
Yeah, I mean, China's the second biggest market right now, and they're really huge. And Star Wars didn't do very well over there.
Really?
Yeah, the Fast and Furious 7 movie still made more money than Star Wars did.
All right, okay.
Because they don't know about Star Wars over there, really. Star Wars is still very small in China. It wasn't allowed to be released over there. I forget the date, but they don't have that background into it, so they have no idea what Star Wars is.
Okay, so all right, well then, as long as he continues to make it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not giving him his money, so I don't. I'm not that person that can complain and say, why you keep making these movies, because it's not me.
That's very true. That's true. We'll complain about the new Star Trek movies.
Oh, you don't like the new Star Trek movies?
I loved the first one.
Okay.
I thought it was great. They opened up with that first 10 minutes where they flipped it on you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can dig that. That's amazing. The second movie was probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I wouldn't go that far because we just talked about Michael Bay. But...
All right, fair enough. All right, fair enough. One of the worst movies that I was excited about.
Okay, all-time favorite character can be from any genre.
Well, my all-time favorite character is from Star Wars, and it is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And that's why this is not named Rancho Jar Jar. But there was something. There was something about Obi-Wan, and it was partly that the character influenced me, but that it had already been part of my life. I always have considered myself in both my work life and in personal life as a mentor, looking for talent, bringing people into both the Wall Street Journal and to Lucasfilm, and then making sure that they got the right support so that they could succeed, and that has always been very important to me. And I saw that. Plus, I mean, the great acting by both Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor just sort of cemented that.
We love them both. We love Ewan McGregor. We're hoping, praying that they make
wonderful
an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie.
Would be great.
I remember
he's
when
that
fake poster, that fake slide came out.
Yeah.
I lost it. I thought it was real. I thought it was so real.
It sure looked real.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
So if Obi-Wan Kenobi was your buddy, like in real life, what kind of birthday gift would you get him?
I think I would give him all completely paid vacation to a lovely resort with Sabine. He needs it. Yes.
All right.
Awesome answer.
That was a good one. So what are you watching right now on TV? What's your go-to? What do you have on DVR, or what is the one things you can't miss?
I watch America's Got Talent. I mean, I like things that are sort of light and that are a bit competitive and that involve some discovery. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, especially right now. Things are, I'll watch some of the Olympics certainly, but I'm trying to think. I love Modern Family, and I like a show called The Fosters, which is on
Netflix, right?
No,
Netflix?
it's on. They've renamed the channel. It used to be the ABC Family Channel. And I'm trying to think what else I watch. Oh, well, Big Bang Theory I watch all the time.
It's one of our favorites.
And a lot of a lot of late night DVR'd, like especially James Corden, who I find
He's
very,
hysterical.
very
He's so
funny.
So if Sheldon, if you're, you said you watched The Big Bang Theory.
Sheldon, if you're listening, you should come and visit here. All of you should, actually. We'll do an episode at Rancho Obi-Wan and The Big Bang Theory. That would be fun.
That'd be super
That'd be
cool.
great.
I think that could be arranged. Probably.
That probably could be if we can get them to listen.
From your lips.
So, which if the character Sheldon, if he had to ride if he had to pick 3 vehicles, would he ride in Kit, Airwolf, or Street Hawk?
Kit. I think he would feel more comfortable in an older.
But he can't drive.
No, I know, but he could.
Oh, that's even
the
better.
car
That's
can.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But
That
the
is-
car can, so
yeah,
he
that's
could
right.
talk to the car.
That's actually a good
and the
answer.
car
Because he
could
loves,
drive.
That's right.
Yeah,
he
that's
loves
right.
AI. That's a good answer. Okay, so here's the last question. Top 3 movies of all time. Anything. Top 3 movies of all time.
Star Wars, Lawrence of Arabia, and
There's 13 Star Treks, though.
I really love Star Trek, but I would not put that in my top 3 movies of all time.
And which Star Wars?
Star Wars.
There you
is
go.
my favorite of the episode 4. And yeah, that's just where my mind was.
E.T.
We have
She's
mind
got a
meld.
mind reader.
E.T.
E.T.'s
When I first saw E.T. and walked out of the screening, I couldn't talk for 10 minutes.
E.T.
E.T.
That's actually the first movie that my father ever took me to, and I don't remember it, but he remembers the entire theater crying.
Yeah.
Spoilers: E.T. dies in the movie.
No, he doesn't. You think he does?
So we're going to wrap this up, but before we go, we have something for you. I guess we force Future read this that you were going to ask for a shirt. So we actually have a shirt for you.
Right in the middle of the tour, he's like, "I'll do your podcast, but I need a shirt."
Yeah,
And I'm like,
so just in case you don't like the shirt, you can't give it away to anybody else.
Oh, I love it.
Because it has your name on it.
It has Sansweet on the back and chew on this. A Nerds United podcast. Perfect. It's
We
my
might have to
size.
take that soundbite.
Yeah,
And
we
I
might
take
have
it.
to.
Oh, well. Yes.
So the other thing we have is the person that we've been contacted is Anne. And Anne is your general manager, curator here.
Everything.
She was feeding you answers throughout the podcast, too. But we were trying to figure out what to give you that somebody hasn't given you yet. And the first idea we had was we'll give them an action figure. Well, we've seen tons of fan-made action figures to you, and we're not really good artists. That's why we talk, because we can't
we talk
draw.
comic books.
We can't draw
art,
or
we tried
sculpt
everything.
or anything like that. So we're thinking, all right, well, we'll get Steve the shirt, and then we'll have to do something completely different. And luckily, unless it was in a box, we didn't see this out there.
Right.
So what we got for you?
Well, then
is-
again, it's only one. There's
only
none.
one ever
There's
made.
none
One
ever made.
So this is an official Chew-approved podcast, #1 action figure, never made. It's a General Ann Newman action figure for your museum.
God, I love it. I love it. We'll let
This
this
was
rest
really
in
hard to
Ann's
find.
Office.
It's my first
God.
action figure.
I love it. Or maybe we put it with the other action figures.
So
it was
This is
extremely
truly-
difficult to find.
This is
But
truly
we-
wonderful, guys. This is truly one. Can we put a little purple streak?
Yeah.
I was actually going to draw glasses on there, but
I told him, no, don't do
this
that.
This is wonderful.
Super cute.
This is
super
great.
cute.
We'll have to get a
I love
picture
it.
with you
Steve
guys
has
with
a
it.
wealth of figures made with his likeness.
we wanted to think outside the box. That's kind of what we do, and so that is the only one in existence.
Cool.
And
It's
it will be the only one ever in existence.
So what we want to let you know, it comes with accessories, and the accessories are stormtroopers to help you curate, and those are
Boxes.
tho-
And those pills are actually they're ibuprofen pills. When you're curating for ends and endless amounts of time.
You know how many ibuprofen we've got?
We buy the 5,000 bottles.
A ride from Costco.
Chew on this, a Nerds United podcast.